This month's Nancy Drew book is called The Red Slippers. I have no idea why, because there are no red slippers in this book whatsoever. But you know what? Maybe Nancy should switch to red slippers. Those snow boots totally clash with her dress.
Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review.
The book begins with Bess realizing she has no defining personality traits, which is a problem because having no personality is Ned's job. Bess decides she needs a new hobby. I'm fine with her getting a hobby. As long as she doesn't do YouTube book reviews, that's my thing. A girl shows up to talk to them. Based on her hair, large calves, and foot movements, Nancy deduces she is a ballerina. Specifically, she is Maggie Richards. She was in ballet class with Nancy and Bess when they were younger. Yeah, I remember that book. Maggie's in town as part of a ballet production. Tomorrow they perform in front of a big ballet critic, so it's crucial she does well. I'm sure she has nothing to worry about, and oh my gosh, practice started an hour ago. Ah! Someone sabotaged Maggie's phone to display the wrong time. Nancy rushes Maggie to practice, and she meets all of the suspects in this sabotage mystery. Fiona Scott, the surly understudy. Jameson, the angry, insulting director. Sebastian, the friendly pianist. Nancy briefly focuses on Mike Carter, a CEO dad who doesn't want his son to be a ballerino. But Colin cannot stop, because passion for dancing is in his heart. So when the ballet posters are vandalized, Nancy decides to test the dad's reaction to it. He is so surprised that he must be innocent. Nancy looks into the store where the posters were printed, but the man working there is a culprit from another mystery. He basically hates Nancy and kicks her out of the store. Now that I think about it, I'm surprised Nancy doesn't run into ex-culprits more often. I mean, she's solved mysteries in River Heights for 85 years now. Half the town should be in prison. Someone destroys Maggie's dressing room, and at dinner, somebody puts a threat warning under the bill. The waiter is just as mean as the ex-culprit, and he refuses to help Nancy unless she gives him a big tip. Here's a tip. Don't order your customers to leave you more money, you jerk. Thanks to the waiter's lack of help, Nancy isn't able to catch the culprit, but she does see they drive a sweet car. The next day's rehearsal is closed to the public, so our heroes have to sneak in. George goes undercover as theater crew, Bess goes undercover as an usher, and Nancy goes undercover as a ballerina. Because being on stage in the middle of things is a great way to keep a low profile? As usual, Nancy finds circumstantial evidence to make all of the suspects look guilty. Since she's running out of time, Nancy decides to set a trap for the culprit. Maggie makes a big show of hiding her lucky shoes in a specific spot. The first person who tries to take the shoes is the understudy. Aha! Culprit time for you. No, wait, she's innocent. She was looking for something else. She does confess to some of the minor sabotage incidents, so the trap wasn't a total loss. A piece of scenery falls down and badly injures Nancy's leg. That's the break in the case. Also the break in Nancy's leg. The scenery was sabotaged 3 days ago, indicating that the culprit's target isn't Maggie, but just the entire show. They want to stop the director by getting the entire show shut down. Nancy tries to figure out who would have a grudge against the mean, insulting director. The answer is everyone. He verbally abuses all of his students because he thinks that will make them better at ballet. One time he was so mean he gave Sebastian's sister a complete mental breakdown, and Sebastian is our culprit. So our heroes break into his dressing room, where Nancy finds some powder. She finds some powder. If you heat up the powder, it turns into tear gas, and he just put that powder all over the hot stage lights. Now the ballerinas are gonna cough and cry, but Nancy turns off the lights in time, Sebastian's apprehended, and the mean director apologizes for insulting everyone. We finish with Bess deciding her new hobby is going to be tap dancing. Everybody's glad for her because it's important to know what you're good at so you can figure out what you'll be when you grow up. Isn't Bess 18 years old? She's already an adult. Maybe she should be focusing on something else, like getting a job in sales. I can see it now. Nancy Drew Diaries number 12. Bess becomes a contributing member of society. The end. Post-book follow-up. If I had to guess, I'd say this book has the same author as book number 5. These are the only books where Nancy goes into Sherlock Holmes mode and spends several paragraphs analyzing a piece of evidence to arrive at a conclusion. That is different from normal, and I like it. I like seeing Nancy use her brains to solve a mystery. Not to say that she's stupid in the other books, but she's usually not that proactive in getting things done. Usually she just bounces around from sabotage incident to sabotage incident until she's at the end of the book. Also, like book 5, this book has a reoccurring theme about self-fulfillment and doing the things you like despite opposition. We see this with Bess wanting a hobby, Maggie refusing to give in to the saboteur, the kid whose dad doesn't want him to dance, Nancy dealing with the director. Also, and this isn't exactly a theme, the book insists that there are no villains in this world. We just have good people who make bad decisions. The culprit, the mean dad, and the director all get redeemed by the end of the book to emphasize that they're not evil. No one's evil! Except the poster store guy. That guy was a jerk. I'm not sure if the author's trying to make a statement about morality, or if that's just the norm for this series. Nancy doesn't really run into truly evil culprits who want to harm her. The only time she's really in danger here is when a piece of scenery almost hits her. Also, I just want to note that this book has some really good pacing, much better than other books where they have 3-page chapters. Overall, this is a good book. It is a huge improvement over the previous book. Then again, in the previous book, the culprit's motive was, I'm going to follow a comic book. So it's kind of hard not to improve upon that. If I had to name my favorite books in the series, I would say it would be this book, number 7, and number 5. I guess I only like odd-numbered books in this series. I give Nancy Drew Diaries number 11 a 9 out of 10.